Have you ever stopped to think why you were born exactly into the family you were born into? Why your parents are these specific people and not others? Why you came into the world in a certain place, at a certain time, under certain circumstances? This question has echoed through humanity for thousands of years. Great philosophers, mystics, and thinkers have pondered this mystery that touches the heart of every human being. There is not a single person who hasn't questioned, at least once in their life, the purpose behind the place they were born. When we observe our family, it's impossible not to notice patterns. Physical traits that repeat, habits that pass from generation to generation, talents that appear out of nowhere, or even problems that seem to persist. Have you noticed how certain families have a natural tendency toward music, while others lean toward business? How some people are born with a knack for languages, even without ever having studied them? These are not coincidences. The materialistic view of the world tells us that everything is the result of chance, that you simply appeared here due to a random combination of circumstances. But does that really make sense when we observe the complexity and precision with which life unfolds? Think about your own existence. You are the result of billions of years of evolution, of an exact sequence of events that had to happen for you to exist. If a single one of your ancestors, at any point in history, had made a different decision, you wouldn't be here. The mathematical probability of your existence is practically zero, and yet you exist. But there's something even deeper in all of this. From an early age, we carry within us certain tendencies, certain affinities that we can't explain. That child who obsessively draws from the age of 2 even though no one taught them. The boy who has an inexplicable fear of water without ever having gone through any trauma. The girl who shows a natural compassion for animals as if she already knew something about them. These traits don't come from nowhere. They are echoes of something much greater. Spirituality teaches us that we are eternal souls living a temporary human experience. And if this is true, then your presence here, now, in this specific family, is not an accident. It's a conscious choice made by you at a much deeper level of your consciousness. This perspective completely changes the way we see our lives. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstances, we discover that we are the architects of our own experience. Every challenge we face, every joy we live, every person we meet, all of it is part of a greater plan that our own soul designed. But how does this work? How does a soul choose its parents? What criteria are used? Is there a process, a methodology behind these decisions? The answer to these questions leads us to a revolutionary understanding of who we really are and why we are here. It connects us to a much greater purpose than we imagine and gives us the keys to decipher the mysteries of our own existence. When we begin to understand that we chose our parents, our family, our circumstances, a light turns on within us. We realize that we are not lost in the world. We are not at the mercy of fate. We are powerful beings who came here with a specific mission, and every element of our life was carefully selected to help us fulfill that mission. This understanding frees us from the sense of randomness and connects us with our true divine nature. It makes us realize that we are much more than we think we are. We are ancient, wise souls who chose this human experience as an opportunity for growth, learning, and evolution. And when you truly understand this, when you feel this truth in your heart, your life is never the same again. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What for me?" You stop fighting against your story and start honoring your journey. You stop feeling like a victim and take on the role of the protagonist in your own spiritual evolution. This is just the beginning of our journey together. Let's discover how your soul made this sacred decision and how you can honor that choice in every moment of your life. There is a world beyond what our eyes can see. A place where your soul resides between one life and another, where the most important decisions of your existence are made. This is the spiritual plane, your true home. Imagine an infinite space of light and love, where time works in a completely different way, where a conversation might last the equivalent of earthly years, but feel like just a few minutes. In this place, you don't have a physical body, but you retain your essence, your personality, your individual consciousness. Here, you are not alone. Around you are other soulsome you've known intimately for ages, others you'll meet for the first time on this new journey you're planning. There are also more evolved beings of light, your spiritual guides, who have been accompanying your evolution for thousands of years. The process of choosing your parents doesn't happen on a whim. It's the result of deep meetings, detailed conversations, careful analyses of all possibilities. There is something we could call a council of souls, a group of highly evolved beings who help you make the best decisions for your next incarnation. During these meetings, you review your last earthly life. Every moment, every choice, every relationship is analyzed not with judgment, but with love and understanding. You identify what you've learned, what you still need to work on, which patterns you need to break, and which virtues you want to develop. Your spiritual guides show you different family options available for your next incarnation. Like a divine catalog, you can energetically visit these families, feel their vibration, understand their dynamics, sense what kind of experiences each would offer. But here's the most fascinating detail. Your future families are also being consulted. The souls that will be your parents, your siblings, even your grandparents, take part in this decision. It's a mutual agreement, a sacred contract where everyone involved agrees to play certain roles in each other's lives. Your future mother, for example, may be in the spiritual plane at this very moment, talking with her own guides about how she can best help you on your journey. She is studying your soul, understanding your needs, preparing to give you exactly what you need, even if that means being the sweetest mother in the world or the most challenging one. During this process, you also receive what we could call a cosmic briefing. Information about the era in which you'll be born, the challenges the world will be facing, the opportunities that will be available. You understand what role your soul can play in the collective evolution of humanity. It's important to understand that in this spiritual plane, you have access to a much greater wisdom than you will have once you are born. You can see the full panorama of your spiritual evolution, and you fully understand why certain experiences are necessary, even if they are painful. Here, you are not afraid of pain. You understand that it is a tool for growth, a teacher in disguise. That's why you often choose experiences that your human self would consider undesirable, but your spiritual self knows are exactly what you need. The love that permeates this entire process is indescribable. It is not the conditional love we know on earth, but a pure, unconditional love that recognizes the divinity in every being. Even when you choose parents who will be challenging, that choice is made with love for yourself and for your spiritual growth. Before finalizing your decision, you receive one last piece of guidance from your guides. They remind you that once incarnated, you will temporarily forget who you really are. That there will be moments of doubt, of questioning, of feeling lost, but they also assure you that, at the right moment, you will begin to awaken to your true nature. They plant in your soul certain seeds of remembrance, specific moments in your future life, where you will feel an awakening, a deep connection to something greater. These might be mystical experiences, encounters with special people, or simply moments of contemplation where you remember, even if briefly, who you truly are. And then, with all the love and wisdom of the universe accompanying you, you make the final decision. You choose your parents, you choose your family, you choose your journey. You know that you are about to dive into an incredible adventure, full of highs and lows, joys and sorrows, but you also know that every moment of this journey has been carefully planned to lead you to a place of greater love, wisdom, and understanding. The spiritual plane is not just a placid, it is a state of consciousness that you can access even while here on Earth. And the more you connect with this reality, the more sense your life makes. There is a spiritual methodology behind this decision, specific criteria that were carefully analyzed before you took your first breath in this world. The first and most important criterion is your pending karmic lessons. Karma is not punishment, it is education. It is the universe's perfect system that ensures you learn everything you need to learn to evolve spiritually. Each soul carries with it a spiritual curriculum, a list of experiences and lessons it still needs to complete. If in past lives you had difficulties with authority, your soul might choose parents who will teach you how to balance respect and independence. If you need to learn about forgiveness, you might choose a family where forgiveness is a constant lesson. If your soul needs to develop compassion, you might choose parents who go through hardships where you will naturally develop this quality. But here's the secret. Your soul always chooses the family that offers exactly the growth opportunities you need. No more, no less. It is a perfect calculation made with love and wisdom. The second criterion is energetic compatibility. Each soul has a specific vibrational frequency, like a spiritual fingerprint. Your soul looks for parents whose vibration is compatible with yours, not necessarily identical, but complementary. It's like choosing dance partners who know exactly how to move with you. Sometimes, this compatibility is expressed through similar talents, families of artists, musicians, entrepreneurs. Other times, it manifests through deeply shared values families that value honesty, generosity, spiritual growth. The third criterion is the specific growth opportunities that each family offers. Your soul analyzes not only who your parents are, but where they are on their own spiritual journey. It sees what kind of experiences this family can provide, what challenges you will face, and what virtues you will have the opportunity to develop. A wealthy family may offer lessons about responsibility and generosity. A poor family may teach resilience and gratitude. A harmonious family may develop your capacity to love. A conflicted family may teach you about patience and forgiveness. The fourth criterion is the historical and geographical moment. Your soul considers when and where you will be born, what era of humanity, what country, what culture. Each historical moment offers unique opportunities for growth and contribution. Souls born during great wars came to learn about resilience and rebuilding. Souls born during technological revolutions came to navigate and contribute to these transformations. Your soul chose to be born right now because this moment offers the perfect experiences for your evolution. The fifth criterion is your life mission. Every soul comes with a specific purpose, a unique contribution to make to the world. Your soul chooses parents who, directly or indirectly, will prepare you to fulfill that mission. If your mission is to heal, you might choose parents who expose you to pain early on, developing your natural compassion. If your mission is to teach, you might choose educator parents, or parents who make you deeply value knowledge. If your mission is to lead, you might choose parents who teach you both about power and about humility. But here comes a big question: the role of free will versus destiny. Your soul makes choices based on probabilities, not absolute certainties. It chooses parents who will probably offer certain experiences, but the free will of everyone involved can alter those experiences. Your parents may evolve spiritually during your childhood, changing the family dynamic. You yourself may make choices that alter the course of your life. It's like a spiritual GPS. Your soul mapped out the most efficient route to your destination, but you have the freedom to take detours along the way. What's interesting is that even with those detours, you always have the opportunity to reach where you need to go. The sixth criterion is pre-existing spiritual contracts. Your soul may have old agreements with other souls' promises to help each other in future incarnations. Sometimes you choose certain parents because you promised, in past lives, to help them on their spiritual journey. These contracts function as a cosmic support network. You are not alone on this journey. You are surrounded by souls who agreed to play specific roles in your life and you in theirs. The final criterion is the deepest one: unconditional love. Your soul always chooses with love. Even when it chooses challenging experiences, it does so out of love for its own growth and evolution. There is no choice your soul makes that is not, in essence, an act of love. Understanding these criteria completely changes how you see your family and your life. You realize there are no mistakes, only opportunities for growth. There are no victims, only brave souls who chose specific experiences in order to evolve. Your family is not an accident. It is a carefully planned spiritual project where each person plays a fundamental role in the evolution of everyone else. There are clues scattered throughout your life that confirm you consciously chose your parents. Subtle but powerful signs that your soul left as reminders that nothing in your existence is accidental. The first sign is the family patterns that repeat in an almost mystical way. Have you ever noticed how certain characteristics span generations in your family? We're not just talking about physical traits, but behavioral patterns, specific talents, even significant dates that repeat. These patterns are not genetics, they are spiritual choices. Your soul aligns with families that carry certain energetic specialties because it wants to develop or refine those same qualities. The second sign is the inexplicable talents you show from a very young age. That ability that seems to come from nowhere, that can't be explained by education or the environment in which you were raised. Mozart composed his first symphony at 8 years old. Picasso was drawing masterfully before he could even read. These are not isolated cases, they are extreme examples of something that happens to all of us in different degrees. You have talents you can't rationally explain. It might be a natural ease in understanding people, a specific skill with your hands, an inexplicable connection to nature. These talents are spiritual baggage your soul brought from other experiences and chose to develop in this specific family. The third sign is the instant connections or deep conflicts you feel toward your parents. There is rarely neutrality in family relationships. You either feel a deep connection or an intense conflict. Both are signs that there is a spiritual history between you. When you feel an instant connection with one of your parents, it indicates that you've known each other spiritually for a long time. Maybe you've been family in other lives, or maybe you've worked together on spiritual projects in the etheric plane. On the other hand, when there is a deep conflict, it doesn't mean you spiritually hate each other. It means you agreed to play challenging roles in each other's lives to accelerate both of your spiritual growth. The fourth sign is recurring dreams and inexplicable childhood memories. Do you have dreams that have repeated since you were little? Memories of places you've never been? Feelings of, I've lived this before, in familiar situations? These are leaks from your spiritual consciousness. Moments when the veil between the spiritual and physical world becomes thinner, allowing you to access your soul's memories. Many children talk about a previous life or mention details about the time before being born. Parents usually think it's cute and forget about it, but these are real pieces of information from the child's soul. The fifth sign is family synchronicities, coincidences that happen with a frequency that defies logic. Family members doing the same thing at the same time, even when far apart. Events that repeat on specific dates. Situations that seem orchestrated by the universe. These synchronicities are signs that there is a deep, energetic connection between you, established long before your physical birth. The sixth sign is the obvious lessons your family offers you. When you look at your childhood and adolescence, can you clearly identify which qualities your family helped you develop? What challenges forced you to grow? What virtues did you need to cultivate to deal with your family dynamics? If your family taught you patience, it's because your soul knew it needed to develop that quality. If it taught you independence, it's because your soul wanted to learn to trust itself. If it taught you forgiveness, it's because your soul needed to master that virtue. The seventh sign is the coincidences surrounding your birth. The date you were born, the time, the circumstances. These details are rarely accidental from a spiritual perspective. Were you born in the same month as a special grandparent? Does your birth date add up to a number that repeats in your family? Were you born on a historically significant date? These are not coincidences. They are signs that your soul carefully chose even the moment of your arrival. The eighth sign is the intense emotional reactions to family situations that seem disproportionate. Do you have very strong reactions to certain behaviors of your parents? Fears or anxieties that you can't logically explain? These intense reactions usually indicate that there's a deep spiritual history behind the situation. Your soul is recognizing patterns from other lives or reacting to spiritual contracts that were established before birth. The ninth sign is the moments of awakening regarding your family, moments when you suddenly understand something deep about your parents or the family dynamic, when you feel inexplicable compassion or deep gratitude. These awakening moments are your soul temporarily remembering the agreements that were made on the spiritual plane. They are flashes of consciousness that connect you with the greater truth of your choice. When you begin to recognize these signs in your own life, something magical happens. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start feeling like the protagonist of your own spiritual story. You realize that you are not lost in the world, you are exactly where you chose to be, living exactly the experiences your soul knew it needed to live. This understanding brings a deep peace and a sense of purpose that completely transforms how you live your life. Now we come to the main point of the question that most intrigues and sometimes troubles people. Why do some souls choose parents who will be a source of pain, conflict, or challenge? Why don't we always choose perfect, loving, harmonious families? The answer goes far beyond what our human mind can easily comprehend. On the spiritual plane, your soul operates with a wisdom that transcends our earthly understanding of comfort and happiness. It knows that the greatest transformations, the deepest growth, happen when we are challenged, when we are forced to go beyond our known limits. Think about nature. The strongest trees are those that have faced storms. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Muscles grow when they are challenged with resistance. The same principle applies to spiritual growth. When your soul chooses difficult parents, it is making a brave and deeply loving choice. It is choosing to grow rapidly, even knowing that this will involve temporary pain. But here's the crucial detail. Your soul never chooses more than it can handle. It knows exactly your spiritual strength and chooses challenges that are within your capacity to overcome. You are much stronger than you think. Let's understand the types of challenging parents souls choose and the deep lessons behind each choice. The first type is emotionally distant parents. Your soul may choose parents who don't easily show affection, who are cold or emotionally absent. Why? Because your soul wants to learn to love unconditionally, even when that love is not returned in the way you would like. This choice develops your ability to love without expectations, to find wholeness within yourself, to not rely on external validation, to feel valuable. These are deep lessons about self-love and emotional independence. The second type is controlling parents. Your soul may choose parents who want to control every aspect of your life, who don't respect your individuality. This choice develops your inner strength, your ability to set healthy boundaries, your courage to be authentic even under pressure. The third type is parents with addictions or destructive behaviors. Your soul may choose parents who struggle with dependencies, who have problematic behavioral patterns. This choice develops your compassion, your ability to separate the person from the behavior, your strength to break generational patterns. But here is something important that must be said. Spiritually understanding why you chose difficult parents does not mean you must accept abuse or toxic behavior. It means you can look at these situations from a higher perspective, extract the necessary lessons, and make healthy decisions for your life. Before continuing, leave a comment sharing what was the greatest lesson you learned through a difficult family relationship. Your experience could help others who are going through the same situation. The unconditional love your soul feels for your parents doesn't mean passively accepting everything. It means loving their spiritual essence while setting healthy boundaries to protect your physical and emotional well-being. Your deepest lessons often come disguised as pain. That father who never praised you may have taught you not to depend on external approval. That mother who was overly critical may have taught you to develop genuine self-esteem based on your own internal value. The concept of breaking generational patterns is key here. Your soul may have chosen to be born into a family with destructive patterns specifically to be the one who breaks them. You came to interrupt negative cycles that had been perpetuated for generations. When you understand this, your pain transforms into purpose. You are not a victim of your family, you are the hero of your spiritual lineage. You came to heal not only yourself, but also the entire ancestral chain. Family healing through generations is one of the noblest spiritual tasks a soul can choose. When you heal your own wounds, you are also healing the wounds of your ancestors and protecting future generations. There is tremendous spiritual power in forgiving parents who were difficult. Not passive forgiveness, but active, conscious forgiveness that recognizes they played the role they agreed to play to help your spiritual growth. This forgiveness doesn't erase the pain you felt. It doesn't minimize the hardships you faced, but it connects you with a higher truth. You are all souls on a journey, doing the best you can with the level of consciousness you have. When you reach this understanding, something miraculous happens. Anger turns into compassion. Resentment turns into gratitude. The feeling of victimization turns into a sense of purpose and power. You realize that you chose these specific parents because your soul knew they would give you exactly the experiences you needed to become who you came here to be. They were your most important teachers, even if their teaching methods were harsh. This perspective doesn't diminish the pain you felt. It gives meaning to that pain. It transforms suffering into wisdom. It turns wounds into strength. It transforms you from a victim into the victor of your own spiritual journey. Your soul didn't just choose your parents. It actively participated in the creation of your entire family constellation, siblings, birth order, specific dynamics between family members. Every person in your nuclear family was carefully selected to play a unique role in your spiritual evolution. When we think about the choice of siblings, we enter even more fascinating territory. Your siblings are souls who agreed to grow side by side with you, sharing the same parents, the same basic upbringing, but developing completely unique personalities and paths. It is a sophisticated spiritual experiment where multiple souls explore different aspects of the human experience within the same family context. Birth order is not accidental. Each position, firstborn, middle child, youngest, offers specific learning experiences. The firstborn often chooses that position to develop leadership, responsibility, and the ability to blaze trails. The middle child comes to learn about diplomacy, adaptability, and finding their unique place in the world. The youngest usually chooses that position to explore creativity, spontaneity, and the art of receiving care from others. But here's the most interesting part. Your siblings are not just journey companions, they are your first teachers about human relationships. With them, you learn about sharing, competition, cooperation, loyalty, conflict, and reconciliation. All these lessons become the foundation for every future relationship you build. Sibling dynamics often reflect specific spiritual contracts. That sibling who always challenges you may have agreed to help you develop patience and assertiveness. The sister who is completely different from you may have come to show you alternative perspectives on life. The sibling with whom you have a special connection may be a soulmate who chose to grow by your side. Observe the personality differences between you and your siblings. These differences are not accidental, they are intentional. Each soul chose to explore unique aspects of the human experience. One sibling may be the artist of the family, another the intellectual, another the adventurer. Together, you create a full spectrum of human experiences within a single family. Sibling rivalries, when viewed from a spiritual perspective, are opportunities for growth in disguise. They teach about individuality, self-assertion, fairness, and forgiveness. That sibling who always stole your parents' attention may have taught you to find validation within yourself. The sister who was the favorite may have taught you that your worth doesn't depend on comparisons. But the family constellation goes beyond siblings. It also includes the collective energy the entire family creates together. Each family has a unique energetic signature, a specific vibration created by the combination of all the souls within it. This energetic signature deeply influences who you become. Families with creative energy produce artists and innovators. Families with service energy generate healers and teachers. Families with entrepreneurial energy create leaders and builders. Your soul chose not just specific individuals, but also this specific collective energy. It knew that growing within that particular family vibration would develop certain qualities and characteristics it wanted to cultivate. Before we continue, do you want to expand your soul's development to achieve what you desire? Then join the Quantum Thinking Challenge. In 3 weeks, you will learn to reprogram your mind, raise your vibration, and unlock your full energetic potential. The results I've seen from participants are breathtaking. Ready for your breakthrough? The link is in the first pinned comment. Shared spiritual missions are another fundamental aspect of the family constellation. Many times, the entire family comes with a collective mission, something that can only be accomplished through the collaboration of all the souls involved. Some families come to break specific ancestral patterns. Others come to introduce new energies and perspectives into the world. Some families are pioneers, blazing trails for others to follow. Others are stabilizers, preserving important traditions and values. Each member's role in the collective evolution is crucial. You are not just evolving individually, you are contributing to the evolution of your entire family lineage. Your achievements uplift the whole family. Your healing heals everyone. Your spiritual growth benefits every member of the family constellation. Family dynamics also serve as a microcosm of society. In your family, you learn about power, hierarchy, cooperation, conflict resolution. These lessons become the blueprint for how you relate to groups, communities, and society at large. A fascinating aspect is how each family member mirrors different aspects of your own personality. Your siblings often represent parts of you that you need to integrate or understand better. The rebellious sibling may represent your need for greater independence. The studious sister may reflect your thirst for knowledge. The affectionate brother may show your potential to love more deeply. The family constellation also functions as a spiritual support system. Even when relationships are challenging on the surface, there is a deep soul connection that provides constant energetic support. You are like a network of interconnected souls, each strengthening the others through their own evolution. Family traditions and rituals create a collective identity that transcends the individual lives of each member. These traditions carry ancestral energy and connect the current family with all past and future generations. When you understand that your entire family was carefully orchestrated on the spiritual plane, it completely changes your perspective on family relationships. You stop seeing your siblings as competitors and start seeing them as spiritual collaborators. You stop feeling like a victim of family dynamics and begin to honor the role that each person plays in your evolution. This understanding also helps you accept family differences more easily. You realize that each member is at their own stage of spiritual evolution, exploring their own lessons, fulfilling their own mission. This brings more patience, compassion, and respect for the unique choices and paths of each person. The family constellation is one of the most sophisticated designs of divine creation setting, where multiple souls can grow simultaneously, each contributing to the evolution of the others, all working together toward a greater purpose that transcends individual understanding.